Alfa Romeo announced the signings of Valtteri Bottas and the rookie Guanyu Zhou before the start of the 2022 F1 season. It's the perfect mix of a seasoned professional and a young upcoming star, and Alfa Romeo will hope for a better campaign this time around. Both of their new signings have the credentials, but can they turn them into something more? So first up, can Guanyu Zhou cope with the pressure of being China's first F1 driver? Unlike other drivers on the circuit, Guanyu Zhou has to deal with more than just the pressure of the competition to make a name for himself. There's little doubt about his talent, and anyone who has seen him come through the ranks of F2 knows how good he is. The problems for Guanyu stem from his nationality, as he's a Chinese national, and China's not exactly anyone's favorite country. Guanyu Zhou became the first ever Chinese racer to drive in Formula 1, and that's a historic achievement. Considering the fact that China has more population than any other country in the world, this is something surprising as well. The tension around the young Chinese racer is palpable, and he realizes that the task ahead of him is more than just about racing at the highest level. He explained that the expectations of more than 1.4 billion people rest on his shoulders, as he remains the only Chinese driver to have made the leap to Formula 1. It's also common knowledge that there aren't any other Chinese racers close to making the cut, so Guanyu realizes that he has to act as an inspiration for young Chinese racers looking to take up the sport. While his contract details weren't released, the rumors suggest that Guanyu Zhou has signed a one-year contract with Alfa Romeo, so this might be another incentive for Guanyu to do his talking on the track. If he can answer his critics and pull out a couple of surprise results this year, there's no reason why the rookie shouldn't enjoy a successful career in Formula 1. Next, should politics and sports be kept separate? There has been a raging debate in the world of sports about politics and whether it can be kept away from sports. Given the globalization and inclusive nature of this modern world, we've seen all sports become more and more diverse, but this diversity brings out a complex problem as well. Is it possible to keep politics out of sports? There are valid arguments for both sides, so we'll let you make up your mind about it. In light of the recent invasion of Ukraine by Russia, the importance of politics in all sports has become more evident. Many Russian athletes have been barred from taking part in tournaments, and the ones that are allowed to take part do so, without affiliation to their home country. Many Russian athletes have even condemned the invasion, which is an incredibly brave thing to do, but despite that, Russian athletes continue to pay for the crimes of their country. On the other hand, the argument suggests the hypocrisy of picking and choosing crimes that are to be boycotted. Some people suggest that the West doesn't come under fire for its countless crimes, while Russian and Chinese violations are highlighted more often. Either way, they believe that athletes shouldn't have to pay for the crimes of their country. This is just one of the many narratives Guanyu Zhou has to fight in order to become a successful figure in Formula 1. And how will Guanyu cope with the pressure? For Guanyu, like other Chinese and Russian athletes, there are no surprises, and he's under no illusions that the task will be easy. He knows the inside story from his home country as well, that there are no potential Chinese racers that can represent China, and he remains the sole option for years to come. However, the good thing is that Guanyu relishes the opportunity and wants to take it with both hands. He's not happy in only taking part and making up the numbers. He knows he's good enough to make a name for himself. He explained that he has a lot to prove, not only to his country, but to himself and all of his fans. One thing that makes a champion different from the rest is the hunger and desire to be better than the rest, and this feels evident from Guanyu's approach so far. You need to have an open mind when you start at this level. There's no shame in knowing that your competitors and rivals are better at some things, and you should always learn from them. According to his team principal, Frederic Vasseur, Guanyu's already doing so by building close relations with Bottas. Plus, it helps to have had tough times in your journey, as they tend to make you a better player. Guanyu is no stranger to those tougher times, as he experienced some in F2, and that should set him up for greater things ahead. Now, what can we expect from Guanyu? While it's too early to predict what we can expect from a rookie like Guanyu, we do have some material that can be helpful in analysis. Guanyu is making his season debut at the same time when there are new cars on the circuit for everyone, and that means all of them will start from point zero. Although he's the only rookie on the circuit, that sort of evens things out for him. His determination to score points, and not just be content with being on the scene, is something that could help him in the longer run. Despite a poor start in the Saudi GP, Guanyu recovered well enough in 11th, a place behind seven-time champion Lewis Hamilton. As per his observations, he enjoyed driving in Jeddah and believes that it was an exciting experience, and he was a little cautious given the fact that a single error could be too much on that track. For Alfa Romeo, Guanyu offers so much more than just being a driver though. His signing opens up the possibilities of Alfa Romeo securing sponsorship deals with Chinese companies, and this can be a huge financial factor, so we expect multiple Chinese deals to happen in the future with Alfa Romeo. This particular aspect wasn't ruled out by the team principal Frederic Vasseur either, so it's a shrewd signing for the Hinwil-based team. Up next, Fred Vasseur. FIA needs to be more consistent. Fred Vasseur was unhappy with the inconsistent decision-making from FIA, as his rookie signing Guanyu Zhou fell victim to the new approach to radio messages. It was revealed before the first race of the 2022 season that the race control won't request drivers to give a place back for gaining an advantage by going off track. This means that the decision will be in the hands of the team and the driver, and they'll have to make the call within a lap of the incident. The first time this new rule was put to the test was when Guanyu Zhou went off track in Jeddah earlier on, after passing Alex Albon. The young Chinese driver had completed a passing move after being dropped back at the end of the field after some contact with Daniel Ricciardo. Discussions with his team led to the decision that he should keep the place and not give it back. That was hardly the end of the story, as a message appeared on the timing screens that the incident was investigated and a 5-second penalty was given to Zhou. When he did deserve the penalty initially, it was deemed to have not been served because of contact with the front jackman before the tires were changed, nullifying the advantage. As expected, the Alfa Romeo team was left fuming with the unfolding of the events. Vassar asked for more consistency and believes that if they always make a similar call, then it wouldn't be an issue. Next, drivers excited about the Australian GP. Most of the drivers on the circuit are excited about this weekend's race at the Australian GP, which comes after an enforced absence due to COVID-19 restrictions. The return to Albert Park is something all drivers cherish because of the fantastic atmosphere, and given the number of changes, it should be a great opportunity for all drivers. Alex Albon was full of praise for Albert Park and discussed how he's looking forward to the Australian GP and is excited about how FW44 handles the track. Nicholas Latifi had a tough race in the Saudi GP, but that hasn't put a lid on his expectations and eagerness ahead of the Australian Grand Prix. Albert Park is a venue where he hasn't raced in Formula One, and he believes the new track changes made the track even more exciting and expects the event to be great. The Haas team is also looking forward to a better race in Melbourne. Their team principal, Gunther Steiner, suggested that there were promising signs from the first 2 races, and that expecting points from every race shouldn't be unrealistic. Mick Schumacher suffered a collision in the qualifying in Jeddah, but he's also excited about Melbourne, as it offers a new race location for him. His father has the record for the fastest lap. Will Melbourne be kind to the young German? That's a wrap for this video. Do you have any questions about Guanyu Zhou or anything in general about Formula One? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like it. See you in the next one.